What is up, you guys? Welcome to the channel. I hope y'all are doing well. Today we are going over how to make melodic guitar type beats. It's pretty simple altogether, but I want to walk you guys through my process and maybe help smooth out the process when making your own beats, but y'all already know how I feel about long intros, so let's just get into it. So for this video, I'll be using Ample Guitar L. This isn't a free plugin, unfortunately, but it wasn't too expensive, and I think that there are some alternatives actually by Ample Sound. They have like Ample Guitar M Lite. I know that there's plenty other VSTs, either for a reasonable price or even free ones that you can find to get the same job done. So once you got your VST of choice, you want to go ahead and just try to start creating a melody idea. So we could just come up with one real quick. Okay, I like that. Okay, so after you have like a basic idea, it's great to just start with your root notes in the piano roll. So we'll go ahead and pull that up. Gonna click and drag and highlight the area, right click and hit insert MIDI, and then we'll drag up here to access the piano roll, depending on whichever you prefer, whether you like to play it in or drawing your notes. I found that drawing in my notes helped me kind of just lay out a foundation first, and anything else that I heard I would play out. So that's what we'll go ahead and do. So once you have your foundation that you're working with, you just want to build upon that and add notes to fill it up. And so at the end of that, I kind of hear like a little feel, like a dun 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 dun. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that in and play it. Usually for the second half, I'll just copy and paste and change something up at the end just to give it some variation. You don't ever have to do too much. Something as simple as giving it like a top melody on top of the melody that you already have. That should do the job. So this is what I came up with. Okay, so this is good for the guitar melody. Next, I think it's good to either get some vocal chops or just another melodic sound to kind of like support the main melody. In this case, we'll use this one I found. Another great place to find either vocal samples or counter melodies is Arcade. It's usually best to find a pack that has the same tempo as your project, just so that it doesn't sound too out of line. And at that point, once you have around 2 or 3 elements that build the melodic side of your beat, if you want to, you can go ahead and move on to drums. So that's what we're gonna do. I think we're ready. Go ahead and get these hi-hats. One thing I really like to do with my hi-hats is add a delay to them and put the feedback and the dry wet knob down pretty low so it's not too, in your face, but I think it adds some pretty cool textures to it. A cool trick that I've learned is to actually play around with the velocities. It gives it a lot more of a natural feel, and to do that, it's as simple as just pulling up this little section here and just clicking and dragging how loud or quiet you want your hi-hats to be. Right, and so for like the rolls here, all you gotta do is zoom in, select your grid. I use 132, so I get these small little grids. If you were to do like, let's see, like 1/2, the grids they get a little bit bigger. I like to do 132 so I can do small rolls like this. So what I did is draw on the roll, and then you just click and drag down towards the end to kind of give it like a little fade out effect. I think it sounds pretty cool. When it comes to your hi-hats, you don't have to overdo them, especially if you're going for a calmer vibe like this. At this point, you already have a vibe established. You just want to keep on adding elements to fill up your beat. I want to add in open hi-hats next. At this point, child, we got a clap, we got a rim, we got hi-hats, we got open hats, we got melody. I already know the last thing that we need, and that is the 808s. Oh, I had to say the best for last. Boom, so you already know. Lay down the foundation, follow the melodies, make sure your basses are in tune. A great tip is to put it up an octave. Make sure you're hitting the right notes. All right. So basically what I just did here was laid out a skeleton of the bass pattern that I want to use. On the hard hitting notes, I already laid it down there. Now anything in between is what you feel needs to be there. Alright, so it was a lot that just happened. I'm gonna bring this back up. One golden tip that took my bass lines from 0 to 100 was actually playing with the velocity and adding what I would like, I would call it like ghost notes. They're not really in your face, but like it's giving very much felt but not heard. So for this first part we have, right, we got 2 hits, but I got one on full volume and I got one turned down just a little bit, ooh, just a little bit, to where it's like still giving you that little bounce, like, right? Without it, it's kind of, you know what I mean? Like I wanted it to bounce that second time, right? Did it right here again. Just lower it down just a little bit. Just playing around with the volumes to really establish a bounce. It has a lot of movement when you do it that way. So top 3 tips for the bass line: lay down your foundation, follow the melody. 1, 2, play with the velocities, lower some of your volumes to give it more dynamic and more movement. And then 3, play with your octaves, go up, go down, do rolls, all that stuff, just to make it more interesting if it's called for. If you get them 3 things, your bass gonna be buzzing, like it's gonna be hitting. And so at this point, you literally just have like a masterpiece. This is amazing. I feel like it's such a vibe. That is pretty much it. It's very simple. I have go-to drum sounds for particular beats that kind of help me speed up my process. So I had everything laid out. I knew what I wanted to use. I knew what I heard in my head, and that definitely helps speeding up the process. It's not gonna be like that all the time. Sometimes you really figure it out as you go, and that's okay. But the more you do it, the better you get. But here's the final product. Okay, so one of the last things I wanted to go over with you all is arrangement, because a good beat with not so good arrangement can definitely make or break the listener's experience. So I want to help you guys out with a basic arrangement template in a way. Pretty simple intro, add a little riser effect, smooth out your transitions. I like to bring in the hi-hats pretty quickly. Like, you definitely want to keep the listener's attention. I promise you your elements work better together than they do separately, so you don't feel the need to bring everything in one by one. I think that's the mistake I made when I first started producing. Like, I was like, no, y'all finna hear these hi-hats, and then in 8 bars y'all finna hear these claps, and then in another 8 bars y'all finna hear this kick. Like it was just like, bring them all in together. Like, they definitely go better together than apart. So I like to bring in the hi-hats, claps, snaps, or whatever, pick up the energy. Song starting with the you gotta right, they, you know, they getting into it, then boom, you just bring it in on, you feel me? That was like a little pickup or a little fill or whatever. And basically what I did, cut some of the main melodies out, cut some of the instruments out. Well, actually, like, I cut everything out, and I just dropped the bass on them, you feel me? Right? It helps the bass actually hit harder after having most of the beat heard for 8 bars already. After that, you just want to let the bass and all the elements ride out as like a chorus or a hook or whatever you want to call it. After about 8 or 16 bars, you want to bring it back down for a verse, and then you bring everything back in for the chorus. You want to keep the energy engaging. Don't let them get bored with the beat, basically, but also leave space for them. I know it's hard. It's like you want me to keep your attention, but then you mad when I add a whole bunch of stuff and you ain't got nowhere to rap. It's hard. It takes time. It takes practice. But that's why I'm trying to help y'all out. It took me a minute to figure out like how I wanted to arrange my beat, and I'm still learning. So by now you've had intro, chorus, verse, back into the chorus. After that, it's as simple as copying and pasting for like that second half of the song. But that's basically how I like to arrange my beats. If you guys did find this video helpful, interesting, or entertaining, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. But like I said, hope this helps. And what the? Oh my gosh. My dog be in this outro with me. But nah, so if you guys found that helpful, please do like, comment, subscribe, and share. Oh, also, this beat will be available on my beat website. I'll leave the link to the beat in my description. But you guys have an amazing week, day, night, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. You wanna make a beat, belly? Say hello to the camera.